Hey guys, it's Coach Sean here with Bold City Coaching Company. And today I want to post up a tip about managing your employees. Now, some of you might be owner-operators or solopreneurs, and you're like, I don't really have any employees. You're especially who needs to pay attention to this video, because the employees that I'm talking about are not the in-house employees. I'm talking about your virtual and remote employees. Yes, you need to manage them. Now, let me clarify. Like, what I'm talking about here is they might be virtual assistants. That's probably not really the one that I'm most concerned about, because we probably do manage our virtual assistants pretty well. But I am talking about the bookkeeper that you hired, the marketing department, or folks in marketing for your business, right? It might be that social media manager. It might be the digital marketing person who's putting ads out for you. It might be the SEO or blog writer that you've hired via freelance or a company, a business that's doing that for you. You might have a customer service person who's answering the phone, or maybe even an appointment setter. And right, whether they're a virtual assistant or we're employing it through some other company, there are companies out there that do specifically that task. And maybe you've even outsourced your hiring to a degree. Maybe you're using somebody over at Indeed.com to kind of help you screen candidates and so forth. Well, all of those qualify for what I'm talking about here. And that is that you have to see those people. You have to see those businesses as part of your team, and your job as the business owner is to manage them. What do I mean by that? Well, they're going to come in and they're going to sell you all this whiz bang and everything that they can do. But what I'm seeing too often is with many of my clients, they're paying a business or they're paying someone to do a particular job, and that job isn't getting done. For example, we'll start with a bookkeeper. Frequently, if a client tells me they've already got a bookkeeper, I go, great, I want to see monthly reports, and I begin to work with my client to teach them how to read the monthly reports so that they can almost begin to act more like a CEO for their business and begin to manage their business a little bit better off of reports. Well, frequently, the bookkeepers are behind on those tasks. They can't provide us a current monthly report. They can't provide us a current, P&L, because they're 2 months behind. But here's the problem. You've been paying them all of those months. You've been paying for the 2 months that they were supposed to be doing the work, and here's the catch. They're not doing the work. And so then they work a bunch, and some of them actually have the gall to then charge extra to get caught up in time for the monthly report. That's what I'm talking about. That's when I know that things aren't working out the way they should, because the business owner isn't managing those outsourced employees very well. Here's another example. Spoke to somebody who realized that the digital marketing company that they were using wasn't working out so well. Well, by this point, they had been overpaying for most of their ads. They weren't seeing results. They really didn't know what to expect, because they weren't taking charge of their own business, but they were paying out on a regular basis for ads that were going out. They weren't sure if those ads were effective until after the fact. That's not running your business very well. And so that's why this tip exists. That's why I'm on here right now, is to tell you, you have to become a better manager. If you have in-house people, you've got to manage them well. If it's just you wearing all the hats, you're not outsourced to anybody. You've got to manage yourself and manage the different roles that you play in your business better. So, how to do that? 1, set expectations. You've got to really set the expectations, no different than you would for an employee, of what that role is, what you expect from the relationship that you have, whether it's an outsourced employee or an in-house employee. Next, set the goals, set the tasks and action and activities that they need to be doing, and then set the measurables. What are you going to measure? How are we going to know whether they're on task or off task, whether we're seeing the results, right? That you've got to set some measurables for those activities. And finally, set some deadlines. If you don't have deadlines for when you're going to pause and kind of review their performance, it's just an arbitrary. You just expect to keep paying month to month. But if you have certain expectations and say, I do want to get a monthly report, right? If you've got somebody who's managing your website, you can go, hey, I want to see, how many visitors do we have to the website? Where are we ranking for SEO? Whatever it is, any of these duties, whether it be in-house or outsourced, you should have some expectations, have that process kind of defined, set some measurables, and set some deadlines so that we can then evaluate their performance and know whether they're doing their job or they're not. And then that goes into the next step of how do we improve their performance to get the results that we hired them for.